Hello, welcome to the special edition of
Van High School SSS News.
Today we'll be talking about important subjects such as
Success, high school transitioning, expectations, goal setting, and self-efficacy.
Now let's go to our special guest, Bailey Nade, and her guest.
About success.
Hello, I'm Bailey Nade, and this is David Stewart. Today we're going to talk about success. David, success looks different to many people. What does it look like to you?
I think that success is when somebody is good at something and they reach the goals they intend to.
Do you think if the goal is to graduate high school and someone has a high school diploma, that in the particular situation, that person was successful? What about a trade school certificate, military training boot camp completion, or a college degree?
I think that all of them are successful because they're not sitting at home pulling a welfare check and they're actually out trying to make a living.
Who would you say is successful and why?
I think that Miss Farrell, the love of my life, is successful. She is bringing in good pay, keeping up with her family, and loves what she does.
Good answer, David. Give an example of one area you or others would say you are successful in.
I think that myself, along with most athletes, think that they're successful in sports.
Do you believe that if you work hard enough, you have enough time to plan what you want your success story to look like, that you can pull it off if you really try? What steps can you take now to ensure that your success story works?
I believe personally that the saying, you can do anything you want to do if you work hard enough, is true. And I think that first you have to have the right attitude. You gotta put your mindset to it, and you gotta know what you want to do. You gotta listen to your teachers, do all the work, and you gotta put yourself in a place that you know other people want to be successful in.
And finally, what would prevent you from taking the responsibility, not allowing others to influence or leader you to ensure that you success? Is it worth it?
I think that you can hang out with the right crowd, surround yourself with people that want to be successful and don't want to be losers when they grow up.
Thank you, David. Hello, I'm Bailey Nade, and this is my guest, Delaney Maynard. Today, we are here at the True or False segment. True or false? You only need 22 credits to graduate. True. False. You only need 26. Is it important to discuss your class schedules for next year and college? True. Correct. It is very important. Does colleges just look at your senior year of high school? No.
False.
Correct. They start looking at your freshman year of high school. Attendance will not affect your admittance into college.
False.
Correct. Attendance will always matter. When things are going on in the classroom, you need to be in the moment.
True.
Correct. You should always be in the moment in anything you do. Additional work will always help you.
True.
Correct. The more you do will always help you no matter what you're doing. Let's go on till Autumn with her interview.
for students is to realize that now credits come into play, and if you fail a class or two, you can find yourself falling way behind. And if you fall way behind, it's very difficult to catch up. So it's a good idea to make sure you're on top of your grades, your studies, and make sure that you've got everything squared away for high school credits.
Okay. What advice can you give to upcoming freshmen?
For the upcoming freshmen, again, the realization that you're talking about, it counts now. You know, through the middle school years, sometimes you're promoted and you go along and the credits aren't necessarily the most important thing. But now credits are what counts, and kids really need to make sure they have the credits for graduation.
Okay. What can the upcoming freshmen expect in high school?
High school at Van isn't that much different really than middle school because you see a lot of the same faces.
Right.
But again, the rigor of the work tends to go up. In middle school, you might have a couple of worksheets, you might have the teachers explaining things, but in high school, a lot of the learning falls on the students now. So you have to actually follow through with your assignments, make sure that you study for your tests, and get your assignments in on time.
Okay. Is transitioning to high school difficult for some people?
Yes, it's been a real problem. Freshman year especially that I've noticed. With ninth grade, you can see certain students that you know are going to have embraced the fact that there's credits and you have to pass each course, and then other students have a tendency to not
Care.
Yeah, the level of caring might not be there yet, and the level of maturity that is needed in ninth grade isn't there yet. Sometimes it catches up 10th and 11th grade, but by then it might be too late.
Right.
Which is what is the biggest fear.
Okay. What, as a teacher, do you see new freshmen really struggling with?
Really, again, it falls along that maturity level. The students that are taking their study seriously and know that education is their path to better things and a good life, a lot of those kids don't have that grasp at 9th grade, 10th grade. Once they pick up that grasp, again, they usually pick up and do well and prepare for 11th and 12th grade, but by that time they might, again, be so far behind that they're upset. They feel like they're struggling and they're never going to graduate.
Right.
That's the biggest problems.
Okay. Thank you. Now back to Autumn.
How do you place expectations on your students?
Because I want them to succeed.
Do you put any type of pressure on your students?
Absolutely, I don't let students not work in class. They have to work every day. They have to stay away. They're accountable to turn their assignments in.
Do you try to motivate your students to do better in school?
I try to. Verbal discipline probably, and then I probably use grades, and then finally their parents if necessary.
Do you set expectations for yourself as a teacher?
Sure, I'm constantly searching for new ideas and new things that I can do with students, and I never teach the same thing from year to year. I always vary it so it won't be stale, because if it's not fresh to me, then it's not going to be fresh to them.
What are expectations that you have for your students?
I expect every student who wants to, who is capable, to go to higher level education, college, or I expect them to go to some sort of vocational training, and I expect them to be tax-paying citizens.
That'll be it. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Hello, my name is Rachel Plumley. This is my guest, Austin Markham, who I'll be interviewing on goal setting. So, Austin, why do you think goal setting is important?
It'll help you achieve things in life.
What do you think the difference is in a short-term goal and a long-term goal?
Short-term goals help you lead up by completing things to reach your long-term, and long-term is the overall thing you want to achieve.
What is that short-term goal you would like to achieve?
Short-term would be to graduate high school, and the long-term goal that I would like to achieve is to graduate college with a pharmaceutical degree to become a pharmacist.
Thank you, Austin.
You're welcome.
That's all.
What is your short-term goal?
My short-term goal is to have an A in Miss Farrell's class and keep it that way. Keep an A in Miss Farrell's.
Okay, what is your long-term goal?
My long-term goal is to go to college and graduate and be a pediatric nurse.
Thank you. What is your short-term goal?
Finish high school with a welding certificate.
Okay, what is your long-term goal?
Be a welder and make lots of money.
Thank you. What is your short-term goal?
To make the Dean's List my first year of college.
What is your long-term goal?
To move to South Carolina and become a toxicologist.
Thank you. What pushes your buttons?
When I see kids being rude to other kids and mistreating them.
Okay, how should you react?
You should always go to a trusted adult and tell them, because fighting violence with violence does not help when you try to defend them.
How can negative emotions slow you down?
When you have negative emotions, it can do a lot of things. Like you can become depressed and then you don't want to try harder and you just want to give up and you don't want to keep moving forward.
How should you respond to others when they are upset?
You should always try to be there for them. You never want to ignore them and you never want to make them feel stupid for it. You just want to try to help them in any way possible.
Thank you.
Welcome back. We will now discuss self-efficacy. To help achieve your goals, you must have self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is when you believe in yourself to accomplish your goals. A student with self-efficacy doesn't place blame on others when they fall, but instead take responsibility for their actions and grow from their mistakes. A person with self-efficacy also tends to have good self-esteem because they have given it their all. Thank you.
Most of us start off with a similar set of good intentions. Successful students continuously think before they act, and when the decision is made to act, they always take full ownership of their actions. It is easy for someone to take ownership of success, but when there are struggles, challenges, and even obstacles, responsible students possessing ownership have the capacity to shine. Students that possess ownership are in charge of their own lives, don't blame others, and accept and evaluate other consequences, both good and bad. I am personally responsible for my homework, my schoolwork, and whatever chores I have at home. Whenever I moved up to high school, I got more personal responsibilities than I expected. But it's okay because I took them on like a strong, independent person. I am responsible for my own learning. If I don't sit there and listen and do my work, I'm not going to learn. But if I sit there and I listen and I do my work, I will learn about my own learning. Something to risk in this school year is not doing my work and not paying attention. It's not a risk to take. Don't take it. We sometimes make bad and unhealthy decisions because we think it's going to put us up in the world. We think it's going to make us cooler. We think it's going to do something good for us, but actually it just hurts us in the long run. My mom helps me make responsible decisions for my future. She's been there with me, and she's always told me to make the right decisions to guide my future in the correct way. My family members and my friends play a big role in decision making. I ask my mom about everything before I make the decision, and I ask my best friend about everything before I make the decision. My teachers and my counselors put responsibilities on me that I never expected to have, but I'm glad that they put those responsibilities on me because they make me a better person. I have as much control as I want over my future. If I want to be a garbage person whenever I grow up, I can do that. If I want to be a doctor with 7 PhDs, I can do that because I control my own future. Thank you.
Were you in Conrad's class yesterday when we were working on the age of exploration and isolation? Because I need some help with the study guide, if you don't mind helping me. What'd you get on that math paper yesterday? Hey, yesterday when we were working on the age of exploration and isolation?
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you don't mind, can you help me with the study guide?
Yeah, what part do you need help with?
The last part.
Okay.